I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know in this lesson about your electric guitar. I'm going to teach you everything about it, the full 101 of your electric guitar, so you know exactly what everything on the guitar does, and you know in the long run how to start utilizing your guitar and make the best of it. So I'm going to start with the guitar as a whole. So if you want the best way to think of a guitar is like a human body. So this whole area here is called the body. This area here is called the neck. And then this top area is called the head. So as I mentioned, it's like a human body. Body, neck, head. And then within each part of the guitar, there are individual components as well. So these are called the tuning pegs. These are used for tuning the strings to the desired pitch that you want. So when you're tuning your guitar, you need to use these. Don't just turn them for no reason unless you know what you're doing. And I will cover tuning at some point in another guitar lesson. This plate here, this can represent the brand of the guitar or the model of a guitar, but it hides something. So underneath it, on most electric guitars, and some of them it's down here, but underneath it there is a rod called a truss rod that goes all the way down the neck that we use for servicing a guitar basically. So if I took that plate off, if the neck was a little bit bowed one way or the other, you use the truss rod for straightening it out. Now I would not recommend altering a truss rod. I would recommend getting somebody that knows how to do it. So a guitar luthier, when they're setting up your guitar, to do that until you learn how to do it, because you can cause some damage to your guitar if you turn it, and you don't turn it by lots. It's like literally tiny turns that you turn it by when you're using it. Here we've got the neck, and within the neck we've got the fretboard at the front. So this is all the front part of it. It's called the fretboard. It's where all the frets are. And then each individual metal part is called a fret each, and these are where you push your fingers down. These bit here, on mine it's bird inlays, but they are called the inlays by the way, but on most other guitars it's normally dots. They're called the inlays. They are there to help you know where you are at on the fretboard. They always land on an odd number, apart from this double dot here, which has two dots on it. This one represents the 12th fret, which is an octave. So it's the same note as the open note. If I was to play that and that, they're the same note, just an octave apart. They're both E's. All of the other dots, they all land on odd frets. So if someone said, put your finger on the 7th fret, you can use the dots to find that you can go 3, 5, 7. Okay? The next part, we're at the body now. So these two things here on an electric, these are what create our sound that we want. These are called the pickups. And basically whenever you strike a string, these pick up the magnetic force from the string and turn it into an audio signal or sound. You get different types of pickups. These are called humbuckers, where it's two coils put together. You can get ones where it's just one coil. Humbuckers give a bit more power to them, more distortion if you're on a distorted setting. And all pickups have different sounds as well. So certain, like I'm a believer on an electric guitar that the pickups really make a difference. Here we have got the volume knob. This turns the volume up and down. If I demonstrate, the volume is all the way up and the volume is all the way off now. No sound. However, I would actually say, even though it's the volume knob, when you're in a distorted setting, I would say it more brings what's called the gain down as opposed to the distortion, as opposed to the volume, excuse me. So as you roll off it, you can clean up your sound and you'll still have as much volume. On a clean setting, it does actually alter the volume, but on a distorted setting, I would say it alters the distortion that is coming out. This is the tone knob. The majority of the time, you won't need to touch this, just have it on full. However, if you eventually get into like jazz or anything like that, or you want certain sounds, the tone knob comes in handy. Basically, the best way I can explain it is it sucks the treble out of your tone, so it sucks like the higher pitched frequencies or sounds out of your tone and makes it sound a bit more buried and underwater. So I'll just demonstrate with a chord. This is with the tone knob on full, and this is on with the tone knob on 0. It sounds a lot darker and kind of underwater, which you might think, why would I want that? But within certain types of music like jazz and whatnot, where there's a lot of like different solos by different instruments being traded off, you might want to bury the guitar underneath so that it's not kind of cutting through above like a saxophone or something. And it creates a nice, subtle and mellow sound. It's good to play with though. You can get some good sounds out of it, and then obviously you've got everything in between as well. This is the bridge. You get different types of bridge. You get a fixed bridge, which is where it doesn't move at all. You get a standard tremolo bridge, like a kind of Fender one where it moves that way. This is the floating bridge. This, if I had a bar on it, moves both ways. You can basically use it for vibrato in the note. Listen. Can you hear the note wiggling? And for dive bombs as well and stuff like that. And you can also get a Floyd Rose bridge, which are great. You lock them in at the top. They float, they bend both ways. They very rarely go out of tune. The only downside to Floyd Rose guitars is they take ages to restring, but they're great. I love them anyway, personally. And then this final piece here, actually we'll look on the back as well in a minute. This is called the pickup selector. Now we know these are the pickups. This is what we use to select the pickups. Each pickup gives a different sound. This is called the neck pickup. This is called the bridge pickup. If this switches up there, it is in the neck pickup position, which will give a more rounded and bassy sort of sound. If it is down here, it will be on the bridge pickup, which will give a more trebly sort of sound. Very bitey. And if it is on the center, it is utilizing the 2 inner coils usually of the pickups. I'd say it gives more of a kind of an acoustic sound. My favourite sound on clean, it depends on the guitar to be fair with you, is up there on a clean, on this guitar, and on a distorted channel down there. And if I'm soloing, it kind of alters to where it depends how I want the solo to cut through. You should be altering between them, but I would say play with that switch as much as you can when you're playing to see where you like the sounds and how to get the sounds that you desire. Now on the back, we've got the back plates. This one here, this covers up all the electronics for these 3. So the volume knob, the tone knob, and the pickup selector. You've got no reason to ever need to go into there. That is what a guitar luthier would do when they are setting up your guitar. This one here, this covers up the bridge and the springs. If I was to take that off, I can alter the bridge springs, which basically means I can pull the bridge back or I can push the bridge forward where needed. Again, I would recommend just letting whoever sets up your guitar utilize that. There's no reason for you to go in. And then finally, on an electric guitar, you can get different types of necks as well. So you can get bolt-on necks and you can get neck through as well. This one's a neck through, which is where the neck goes all the way through into the body. A bolt-on neck would have 4 bolts there, and I can unscrew them and take the neck off. I would not recommend doing that though. Other than that, that's everything. Just this bit here, this is where the output jack goes. So this is called the output jack. And you basically plug your guitar into there, it outputs signal into your guitar amp, and that is where the sound comes from. I'm pretty certain I've covered everything on the electric guitar there. So that's the Guitar Anatomy 101 of the electric guitar. I hope that helps you. There are some guitars that have other things on them as well. And probably worth mentioning, this pickup selector. Some guitars, especially like Fender Strats and stuff, they normally have a 5-way pickup selector where you can go kind of like in between 2 pickups as well. But that is everything. If you've got any question about your guitar or any other guitar, hit me up in the comments below. Let me know. I'm here to help. If you could like the video, that'd be great. If you could subscribe to the channel, that helps me to keep helping you learn the guitar and learn about the guitar and others like you as well.